Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Elder Kevin Harris coming to you again with Take the Journey Enterprises and No Marriage Left Behind. I'm one of the panelists for session 3, July the 25th in Hampton, the great city of Hampton, Virginia, and the 3 W's. We're going to have a great time. But in the meantime and in between time, let me give you some more nuggets to just get you built up to what we're going to talk about in July. Today I want to talk about something that I have never heard people talk about. I'm not saying that I'm the first, but I am saying that I haven't heard anybody talk about it. And the topic I want to talk about today is I have a name. Now, what is that? What are you talking about, okay, Harris? I'm glad you asked this morning. I sat down a couple of years ago, and me and my wife and I don't know the proper terminology. It doesn't matter at this moment. We talked about that she, for years, people don't call her by her name, right? Let me explain. When she was a child, she was called Fred Jr., James Anthony's little sister. When she got married, she became Kevin Harris's wife. When we had children, she became KJ's mom, Keyshawn's mom, and Kyra's mom. Do you follow what I'm saying? So I was in my prayer time, and God began to show me that it was time for my wife to come out from the shadows, right? She's always been very active in our marriage and in the parenting wise, but I realized that she has a name, right? Now, what am I saying that she has a name? Obviously, she has a name. Her parents gave her a name, meaning that her name, what is her lane? And I began to ask my wife, I said, how does it feel to be known as such and such and so and so? Eventually it became Elder Harris's wife, Pastor Harris's wife when I was pastoring. So she said she dealt with it, but she always wanted to have her individual identity. So how many wives on today don't have their own identity? That they don't have something that they can call their own? Something that they said they can put a stamp on and said, this is me. Not saying that you want to be solo, be divorced or not have kids, but something you can identify that's you, right? So then I said, well, honey, what is it that you want to do that you can be identified as you putting this good into the world? And she started running off some of the things she wanted to do. There's a few things she's doing and she's yet working on to do to be self-identified. I look at it like this. God is the master architect, right? So just flow me with this. He's the architect. My wife and I are the builders. God gave us the blueprint how to make a beautiful highway, right? We built the highway together. But in the highway, my wife wants her own lane. You get what I'm saying? In the highway, she has her own lane. She needs her own lane so she can identify some of the things and goals that she wanted to do that doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't take offense to it because I encourage her to find what she was born to do and to do it. Now, she does help me in areas that I need help in, but I've always told her, I said, if this is what you want to do, let's make it happen. Let's see what we can do to make it happen, because I don't want her just to be forever known as Kevin's wife, KJ's, Keyshawn, Kyra's mom, Fred Jr., James Anthony's sister, Fred Gaines Sr., and Beverly Hazel's daughter, only daughter. You see what I'm saying? So I admonish you on today, wives. I'm talking to you. Husbands, you may experience this too, where you have a wife that may be more excelled or advanced than you are in certain areas. And you're called Dr. So-and-so's husband or such and such so-and-so's husband. But I'm talking about wives because this is the conversation I had with mine. I admonish you on today, if there's something you want to do and you feel like that your mind may be telling you it's a stupid idea, or it's not good, or nobody in my family ever did this, or I'm not trained to do this. My uncle said something years ago, and I wish he was here today, or I wish I could have recorded what he said. He said this to me as a child. He said, I can do the job, I just haven't been trained yet. And so he kept that positive attitude and that stuck with me to this day. And he told me this when I was a little boy in elementary school. He said, I can do the job. I just haven't been trained yet. Wives, mothers, what is it that you want to do that would not segregate you from your marriage, but can work within the marriage that you haven't shared with your husband? It is a sad day that you have a dream deferred, and you've deferred it for so long because you've been such and such and so on and so. I applaud you for doing the biblical concept of being the driving force for your husband's success, and to see as we old people used to say, to rear your children to be successful. But I also admonish you to ask yourself and sit down and write this down. Don't just dream on it. Write it down. Make a plan. Get what your husband said. I've always wanted to do this. Okay, and if he loves you as I hope he does, he is open-minded to say, okay, honey, how do we go about doing this? Let's research it, and you move forward in it. You see what I'm saying? So I, again, encourage communication, because marriage is not something we take lightly. We should not take it lightly, because remember what the Bible says. The little foxes destroy the vine. It is the simplest things to miss a communication, and miscommunication can build up to where you implode. And once you implode, you explode. And then you start saying words that a marriage should not be saying. I don't want to be bothered. I'm tired. I don't want to be bothered. It's over for me. Those are the terms that should not be used in a biblical marriage. So today, again, wives, I'm addressing you directly. If there's something you wanted to do and you have not said anything, this is the time to say. I admonish you to say what you wanted to do. Do not be in fear of what your husband may or may not say. You may be surprised what he may say in the positive. So I encourage you to not let time continue by and you live with regrets. I know you don't regret being a wife or regret being a parent, but you may have some regret of not fulfilling your personal goal on the highway of life, creating your own lane. Till next time, peace.